The following program is rated MA and may contain themes that may not be appropriate for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hip-hop, trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude era. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best, holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I never forget it. We come a pretty long way. There's so much I can say. It's never really gone away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night. We are fresh off of one of the hottest weekends in wrestling in Atlanta. Of course, I'm talking about Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, and of course, Evolution. All together, all great shows. Just give me one moment here, guys. Yeah, just a hot show from all three. And apparently AEW was also a hot show too, but I did not get the chance to watch it. But right now we're looking at all the media coverage from the WWE that covered all the WWE events, especially when it comes to Jelly Roll and how he has now got himself a match at SummerSlam. But goddamn, what a show Evolution was last night. Probably the strongest show out of all three of them. We're looking at LA Knight with his victory over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, of course, suffering an injury. I don't know what the extent of that injury is, but we will have a report on it tomorrow. And of course, we are looking at also what was Goldberg's last match. And all I can say to you, Bill Goldberg, is thank you for the memories. And of course, the main event from Evolution last night with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Just what a main event. And I know that there's a lot of people knocking what happened in that finish, but that finish made a lot of sense to me. It made a lot of sense in that maybe we didn't really need to see Rhea defeat Io on this night. It's very possible that we see this at a much bigger stage than Evolution. Maybe we see it at SummerSlam or WrestleMania. But Naomi coming in and cashing in, that's the shocker to me, because now I'm a little bit confused about what the path to SummerSlam is for Naomi. Because I seriously thought she was going to be the one to cash in on I thought she was going to be the one to cash in on one Jade Cargill. But right now, Gunther's walking in the building. Jey Uso's walking in the building. CM Punk is going to be in the match. We got a gauntlet match tonight to determine who Gunther's next opponent is going to be at SummerSlam. And this is a pretty stacked one, too. We got Bron Breakker, Penta, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, all going to be vying for that spot. Very stacked card. No Seth Rollins. As I said, Seth Rollins is injured. He's currently at the Birmingham Medical Center getting evaluated, which is where WWE sends all the wrestlers. And right now, we are in Birmingham for Monday Night Raw. And this is going to be one hell of a ride. I love these opening drone shots that they're doing. And here comes our women's world champion, Naomi, making her way to the ring. And all I got to say to Naomi is congratulations. She deserved it. She's been working hard for off and on within and outside of the WWE for the better part of like 16 years. So for her to ascend to this level, bravo. She's also got herself the mic, and I'm very curious about what she's got to say about this, about her cash in here. So let's take a look. Well, I mean, Naomi just saying she's done with everything on SmackDown, like her stuff with Bianca, her stuff with Jade. She came over to. She also stated, "You never knew where she was going to go. You all that we all thought she was going to cash in on Tiffany Stratton, but she obviously chose to cash in during Io Sky and Rhea Ripley's match." And then she put the locker room on notice by saying, "You better proceed with caution." And here comes a woman right now who doesn't really proceed with caution. I'm talking, of course, about Rhea Ripley. Yeah, Pete, this was a great start. I am happy to see Naomi starting the show off with Rhea Ripley now. This is something fresh for Rhea, something fresh for Naomi, and I like it. Naomi has made it onto the list of Ripley. That's what I'm going to call it. And here comes the former champion now, Io Sky. And she can't be too happy, obviously, about Naomi interfering in this matchup, last night. And she would like nothing more than to have her belt back. Well, it is official. At SummerSlam, we are going to get Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi for the Women's World Championship. This is going to be a great matchup, guys. Wow. Nikki Bella makes her in-ring Raw return tonight after 7 years, where she's going to be taking on, and I'm not going to say it the way Perez does, but Chelsea Green. 2 out of 3 falls match tonight. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, the winner, faces Becky. Did I say Becky Lynch? I meant to say Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. But the winner takes on Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. Now we've got the Judgment Day, and Finn is decked out in all the gold. Well, we got set up for a match here as the Kabuki Warriors are going to be taking on Liv and Raquel, or Liv and Raquel, Roxanne and Raquel. I got Liv on the mind because of Finn talking about Liv. I don't know if this is a tag team title match, though. I think this might be just a simple non-title. I'm actually happy that the Kabuki Warriors are back, and we're now in commercial break for anybody who's watching this in the U.S. Well, Io Sky messed up her umbrella now, and there she goes. She fixed it. Kind of looking forward to this match. Anytime I see Asuka and Kairi Sane in the ring, I'm always looking forward to the action they're going to give us. And 9 times out of 10, it's very entertaining to watch them. And here comes Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, the women's tag team champions, alongside the Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio. Fact of the night: all the events amassed over 277 million views across WWE social channels this past week, and that's Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and Great American Bash. It was a very exciting weekend for all three events, and I'm actually surprised that coming out of Evolution, I wasn't checked out on watching wrestling, and usually that many events in one weekend, I would be pretty checked out. But right now, right off the get-go, we've got Roxanne and Raquel taking it to the Kabuki Warriors right now. Taking it to Asuka more specifically. Asuka just laying those kicks into the side of Roxanne's head there. Just wow. Still to come, Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green to go one-on-one. Don't know if I'm really looking forward to that one, but the Gauntlet match is definitely going to be a fire match tonight. I kind of predict that that's going to be taking up the majority of the last hour of the show. 2 out of 3 falls between Bayley and Lyra as well. We're going to get an update on Seth Rollins later tonight. Oh geez. Okay, Raquel's in trouble here, and so is Roxanne. Got like a double armbar situation going on here. But oh god, look at the strength of Raquel. And going for a second one. Oh, nope. Oh, dropping her neck across the top of the rope there. Jeez. Even Tom was impressed by that. I mean, how can you not be impressed with the strength of Raquel Rodriguez? Seeing a double team. For a second there, it looked like Roxanne took the big boot, but no, it was Kyrie who took it. Kyrie fighting to get back to get to tagging in Asuka, but Roxanne not allowing it. Just hammering away on Kyrie. Kyrie's in all kinds of trouble right now. There's that impressive athleticism with that almost kind of like a best moonsault ever mixed with a lion salt. So best lion salt ever? Raquel now, the legal woman in the ring now. Just doing what she can to try and keep Kyrie from making that tag, but Kyrie's getting rather close there. But Raquel managing to pull her in and just throws her down to the mat. I didn't even realize that we went to commercial. But we're back. We're back to the live action, and Raquel is just she was just exerting her strength, but Kyrie caught her in a stunner, and Roxanne quickly making the tag. Trying to get to Asuka, and there it is. Asuka's now in the ring. She's cleaning house. Just taking out that leg of Roxanne with a couple of kicks there. And then takes out Raquel with that hip maneuver. Oh, Raquel just ran right into that crescent kick. All right. Oh, Raquel is down, or, well, kind of down. She just got taken out of the ring. Okay, I thought Asuka was still the legal woman, but I guess she wasn't, but she is now. Oh. Oh, there we go. Down goes Raquel now off of that shove into the ring post, leaving Roxanne to her own laurels, I guess you could say. And Asuka getting the tag right now. And now Dom trying to provide the distraction again. Oh, spinning back elbow to Dom's chin. But that might have been proven to be enough distraction, as we now have the 3 count. Roxanne Perez gets the win. With the help of Dom. Well, there you have it, folks. It's still too soon to determine Seth Rollins' injury, according to Paul Heyman. But Paul Heyman said tonight is not about Seth Rollins. It's about Bron Breakker and maybe winning that gauntlet match. LA Knight basically laying his claim to winning the Gauntlet match tonight. I'd like to ask you guys out there in the audience, who do you guys think will be winning that Gauntlet match? Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight. I also wouldn't mind seeing Bron Breakker. Those are going to be my two picks for the match. Yeah, this kind of looking forward to this one. Well, up next, we've got the 2 out of 3 falls match here between Bayley and Lyra. And this is going to be an interesting 2 out of 3 falls. You know Becky's got to be watching somewhere. As Bayley's in the ring, Lyra is making her way to the ring right now. Really can't pick a winner in this one. I like both ladies going after the women's intercontinental title. And right off the get-go, Lyra's got a side headlock here. She's Bailey keeps trying to push out of it, but Lyra keeps locking it back in as soon as she comes off the ropes now. Bailey trying to do everything she can to break out of this. Lyra's not letting it go though. Lyra's now patted her on the top of the head there, and I don't know if Lyra liked that too much there. But right now, Lyra is out wrestling Becky, and this has got to be frustrating Becky right now. Or I mean Bailey. Why do I keep saying Becky? Jesus. Yeah, it seems like right now Lyra's got Bailey's number here, and they're patting her on the top of the head. Bailey just slapped the taste out of her mouth and got the first pinfall. Bailey is now up 1 pinfall to nothing. Now Lyra's thinking, what does she got to do to get back into this game? What does she have to do to tie the score up to push it to that third fall? Because that first pinfall did catch Lyra off guard there. See, even Lyra can catch Bailey off guard too, just as she tried to with that roll up there. But Bailey, quick to kick out there. And right back to that armbar for Bailey. As we come back to the action for anybody who was watching, who doesn't have Netflix Premium. We're looking at the 2 out of 3 falls match here, and right now both Bailey, and Lyra are trading blows. They were trading elbows, and now beautiful. I guess you can call that a standing enziguri from Lyra. Lyra now just a ball of fire right now, just doing what she can to to take Bayley down. And now Lyra just stomping Bayley. Irish whip reversal with force there. Just now Bayley's got the advantage here. This has been a back and forth second fall here. Both women just beating each other up, and within reason too. I mean, the winner does get a shot at Becky Lynch's Intercontinental title, and a match like this just adds that much more importance to the Intercontinental title. As both women stated prior to going in the match, they want that belt more than anything. Bayley, however, said she needs that title more than anything. But there is a thing that I'm thinking about right now, and it's at what point do we see other women going after the women's Intercontinental title? Because at some point, Bayley and Lyra have to step away or back away from it for a little bit to allow other women to contend for the title. And I would say I wouldn't be too opposed of like Stephanie Becker stepping in, but we know she's got the shot at whomever wins the triple threat match now at SummerSlam between Rhea, Io, and Naomi. Oh, I thought Becky was going to get 2 falls right in a row, but that's not the case here. Oh, Bayley just driving those fists in the side of Lyra's head there. Tried to look for a back suplex. Lyra tried to counter with a headlock. Oh, look. And instead that's how you get the second fall, Lyra. You catch Bayley off guard. Bayley was looking for a crucifix roll-up of her own, but Lyra stepped into it, pinned Bayley, got the 3 count. Now we're down to the final fall. It is tied at 1 fall apiece here. And it may not be for long. Oh, geez, that knee to the head there looked devastating. Lyra taking a breather on the outside, but Bayley rolling to the outside right now. Keep in mind, folks, these women at one time were best friends. They were tag team partners. They were gunning for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania, but Bayley got taken out by Becky Lynch, and Becky inserted herself into that match in which Becky and Lyra would win the women's tag titles, only to lose them the next night when Becky turned on Lyra. Oh, Lyra just going to work on those knees right now, trying to keep Bayley grounded. Hyperextending that knee there. It's going to cause problems for Bayley as if this match continues on. Oh, just using that dragon screw to continue working on Bayley's knee right now. Right now, the story of the match is Bayley's knee right now. She's Lyra continued to keep working on it. Bayley's trying to mount a fight back, but doesn't seem to be working in her favor right now. Lyra attempted a roll up, but Bayley continued to roll through it and then kneed Lyra right in the side of the head. But you can see Bayley is favoring that leg, something fierce, as she's doing whatever she can to get out of this match safely. And there it is, the Bayley to belly, and there's 1, 2. Oh, I thought she had it. Thought she had it, but Lyra kicking out at that last second there. Man, these women fighting back and forth. Lyra getting shoved out that turnbuckle, but trying to get back up there to fight Bayley some more. Oh, what? And right on top of that, with a gut wrench powerbomb. Oh, Jesus. I thought Lyra had that one there. These women are putting it all out on the line, guys. This is just awesome. Just when you thought they couldn't give us any more than what they did at Evolution last night, they come out with this banger of a match as well. And Lyra just continuing to work that knee. As I stated earlier, this seems to be the story of the match, is the condition of Bayley's knee right now. Beautiful fisherman suplex on the apron, sending Bayley down to the mat. This match is just beautiful. This is an awesome match between these two women here. A sunset flip right into those stairs, and now, as much as Bayley's favoring that knee, she's trying her hardest to get back into this thing. Oh, diving elbow into the small of the back of Lyra Valkyria. Lyra still fighting to keep in this, though, and right into the crossface there for Bayley. Bayley really wrenching, really putting all her weight down on that back, trying to stretch Lyra out as much as she can, trying to get Lyra to tap out. Oh, whoa. Oh, and the Nightwing. One. And Lyra Valkyria takes the third and final pinfall to win this match, to go on to SummerSlam, to challenge Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title. What a match by these two women. Now I'm curious, what's that path for Bayley? What a match. Oh, wow. Oh, and here comes Becky Lynch. Dressed in the red and yellow. I mean, how apropos given the statement she said on Twitter that she is not Becky Hogan. She is Becky Lynch. But now, as the graphic makes it official, Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch will battle it out at SummerSlam for the Women's Intercontinental title. And right now, we've got ourselves a bit of a stare down between the two women. But what a match! What a card SummerSlam is shaping up to be. I mean, the two women's matches already announced in the fact that Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky are going to be fighting each other for the women's world title. Now we've got Lyra Valkyria challenging Becky for the Intercontinental title. We still got to find out who's going to fight Gunther. And then over on the SmackDown side, I mean, Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton are going to go one-on-one for the title. And then Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Man, SummerSlam's looking to be great. Looks like we've got a match somewhere down the road between Stephanie Becker and Chelsea Green. But right now, Nikki Bella is making her way to the ring to face Chelsea Green. Okay. Nothing against Nikki, but I really want Chelsea to take this win. as Nikki continues getting the crowd hyped for this matchup. She will be the special guest on the Raw recap tomorrow. And here comes Chelsea Green with the Secret Herbis at her side. And they're promoting WWE Late Night featuring Tony Hinchcliffe with, and I'm going to guess Cody Rhodes is going to be a special guest as part of that. But this Friday, Cody Rhodes, John Cena under one roof to promote their, obviously, their forthcoming match at SummerSlam. And right now we're getting a promotional video for Karrion Kross. And here we go, Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green. Karrion Kross was kind of just calling out Sammy, calling him a liar for being injured, even though he has been taken out by both Karrion Kross and Bron Breakker. This just leads me to believe that at SummerSlam, Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn are going to have themselves a match. And another match that I'm going to predict that could very well take place at SummerSlam will be AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. And look at this. We got ourselves a run-in from one Chris Parrish. Welcome, my man.
How's it going?
This has been a very women-heavy episode of Raw, and I'm all for it.
It's good.
Have you been able to catch anything?
No, I'll watch it after.
Okay, so no spoilers then.
I already know what happened. It's wrestling.
Okay, so you know Lyra Valkyria is going to be challenging Becky Lynch at SummerSlam.
Yep, I know everything that's happened. I just haven't seen it.
I do recommend you watch that match, though. But right now, on our screens, Nikki Bella, her in-ring return match on Raw, first time in 7 years she's had a match on Raw against Chelsea Green. And I gotta say, I'm slightly impressed with Nikki's in-ring performance so far.
The one thing I don't get is what's with all this SmackDown heavy. I mean, we have LA Knight on Raw, we have Chelsea Green on Raw. Not that I'm complaining, but you know, aren't they SmackDown?
Well, I mean, that whole move to Raw that was rumored for LA Knight could very well be a possibility now.
Yes, but give us some damn context, can you?
That's what I was thinking as well. I mean, at least in Naomi's case, it makes sense that she's now a Raw athlete, considering she won the World Heavyweight title last night.
I think it'd be funny if she's just like, yeah, no, I'm still SmackDown. Nah.
I was making a few bold predictions for some matches that I think could take place at SummerSlam, and one of them I think is definitely going to be Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. The other being, I think Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles are going to finally have their match at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, provided Dom's actually good to go.
Yeah. But I come to realize they've got 3 weeks to book a 2-night show, and that's really not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time, but at the same time, you already have a lot in the pipeline, so it's not like it's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just get all your championship matches out of the way, and then everything else is going to be pretty simple. And then you wonder, too, like with this match kind of being what it is, do we see Chelsea Green and Secret Hervis go up against maybe Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and somebody else from the Divas era to kind of have that past versus present type of scenario?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, I'm beginning to wonder if there's more to the deal that Nikki Bella had struck with the WWE. Like, I'm wondering if it was more than just Evolution and tonight. Are we going to see more of her over the next few weeks or what?
I think it's very possible.
And I'm just stating that based off of what she said at the press conference, where she had stated like she came back to the WWE to see if she can do it again, you know? all the credit in the world to Alba Fire. She's been taking a lot of big bumps over the weekend.
Oh, this is pretty sloppy.
Uh-huh. Might need a little bit more work on that there. But right now, the Secret Herb is beating up on Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vacour. This sort of makes sense given the interaction that they had with she had with Chelsea Green before the match. And I guess if there is something that's leading to this at SummerSlam, give something for Stephanie to do between now and Clash in Paris.
Well, and then if you remember Stephanie, what she said after she won, she thanked everyone who helped break, kind of who paved the way for people like her to be there and to have that opportunity. So,
and Nikki Bella is definitely one of those women that would have done that.
Well, definitely one that's still able to be active.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the thing. There's a lot of people from that era that just aren't in-ring active anymore.
That was gold. So the Gauntlet match is next. I kind of figured this was going to take up the last hour of the show.
Yeah. So let's go with predictions. Who do you have taking the Gauntlet?
I've got two names in mind, and I'm thinking LA Knight or Bron Breakker.
Okay, but who are you taking? One. We're playing the one game.
I'm going to go LA Knight.
All right. I'm going with the man we just saw, Penta. I think that's a fresh look, and I have a feeling if Seth Rollins isn't able, we might continue on with Bron Breakker versus LA Knight at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
But since we have 2 minutes here, I'm assuming you have not yet played the calendar or anything.
No, not yet. The action's been too hot and heavy for me to do this. So,
well, since it's now cool and light, as we're in that, let's let everybody know that due to the Turnbuckle Studios, we like to, that you can see right there, we like to wish you to go to turnbucklestudios.org. Why? Because we want to see if you have what it takes to be a part of Turnbuckle Studios. We would like to. So here's a little plethora of options of the shows that you could be a part of, or even maybe have a show of your own through the weekly calendar.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we got total non-stop action with Brace for Impact at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And those are just some of the options of shows that you could be a part of. Or we could be adding your show to that calendar if you choose to be a part of Turnbuckle Studios. But let's get back to the action.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to do exactly what you were about to do. Just say we're saying about all the podcasts that WWE is producing, whether it's What Do You Want to Talk About, Cody Rhodes' podcast, or 6 Feet Under, The Undertaker's podcast, or What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, or the Raw Recap with Megan Morant and Sam Roberts. Have you had a chance to listen to any of those?
No, I actually want to listen to the Charlotte one though. I'm very intrigued about that one.
I have seen bits of the Charlotte one. It is really good. I can't wait to finish that one. The Ricky Saints with Cody Rhodes was actually really good as well. Now we get a clip of Logan Paul impulsive as he has alerted to the WWE faithful of fans that Impulsive is now part of that schedule as well.
All right, so Sheamus and Rusev going to get a rematch.
Hello, Nikki. Thanks for popping in. How are you doing tonight? But yes, Rusev and Sheamus are primed to have that rematch. As we now look at the current setup for SummerSlam, which the Undisputed WWE title is being defended by John Cena going up against Cody Rhodes. Naomi will defend her newly won championship in a triple threat match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And then also Becky Lynch will face off against Lyra Valkyria for that Women's Intercontinental Championship. And then just later tonight, we will find out who will challenge Gunther for that World Heavyweight Championship. And also Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship. So I want to kind of throw this at you there, Best. Do you know, with the return of Bianca Belair as that referee, she might be coming into a spot where by SummerSlam, the two people she recently held the tag titles with could very well be singles champions, and she's on the outside looking in on both.
Yeah, and that's where, because I was trying to figure out, okay, how do we actually finish off this thing between Naomi and Jade Cargill now, with Naomi being on Raw, Jade being on SmackDown. And now I think it makes all the sense to me that should they be successful at SummerSlam, that they finish it off at Crown Jewel.
Yes, and I'm gonna also put this out there from what I do believe, as we now get a Saturday Night's main event recap with the Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre match that saw Logan Paul and Jelly roll in. As we now know, that tag match is also official for SummerSlam. That was the other match that we did not say, but I do believe that we got closure in the Naomi versus Jade Cargill feud at Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do believe that we will get, and because of Naomi cashing in and winning that championship, that is a way to kind of distance her from the Naomi and the Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could we see something at Crown Jewel? Absolutely, because as we know, both champions do face each other to crown the Crown Jewel champion. However, I do believe that heel turn of Bianca Belair is going to come at SummerSlam in some way, shape, or form, and we're going to go further with Belair versus Jade Cargill.
But to answer Nikki's question, Bubba, Karl, and OMD are off on assignment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, OMD is off on that unpaid vacation that he wanted.
Yeah.
Yes, we highly say unpaid because, well, reality is reality. But yeah, right now it's just the dynamic duo. Two Chris's.
Hell
Chris's and one show. But Nikki, very happy to have you here. Hopefully you're having a great night. And yeah, if you're watching Raw, let's have some fun and watch the rest of the Raw, because this match is sure to be one for the books. Now it is, as we are hearing from Gunther right now, the reports are indicating that it is Gunther who is being penciled in as a potential last opponent for John Cena. What would it do for somebody like Gunther if in the same calendar year he's able to retire both John Cena and Goldberg?
That just That would just forget shooting him up to the stratosphere. That would just shoot him to the moon as far as being a superstar in the WWE goes.
I mean, I think now you got a built-in feud with Randy Orton because now we have a modern-day legend killer.
Right?
But in the same way, though, like this is what would be very intriguing, though. In 1 year, he absolutely crushed and finished the faces of 2 eras. Because Goldberg was a face of the Attitude Era. He was the WCW face of the Attitude Era, like Stone Cold was for WWF/WWE. And then John Cena is clearly the face of the Ruthless Aggression Era, which really then kind of set us into that awkward era that you don't like, led into the pandemic era that nobody liked. We all pretend it didn't happen, the exception of a few things. But then now we have what I like to call the evolution era.
Yeah, and going back to the pandemic era, and I've always said this, I didn't hate everything about the pandemic era. I didn't really watch Raw and SmackDown, but I did watch all the PLEs, and the PLEs seemed to outshine what they were doing on Raw and SmackDown for the most part.
Yeah, my thing is just the Royal Rumble seemed very weird, and it just sucked because Christian Cage coming back to no people just felt weird.
Yeah. Although I did go back and watch the one that Bianca Belair won during the pandemic, and I actually enjoyed that one.
Right. Now, as we get the Gunther promo to the finish, he is interrupted by the man who is going to start the gauntlet, and that is the big dog, Bron Breakker. Arr, arr.
Yeah, making his way out without Bronson Reed at his side.
No, but he does have Paul Heyman, and we talked about this earlier about Paul Heyman and who he chooses to stay with. And we noted that he didn't stay with Bronson Reed, he didn't stay with Bron Breakker, but he stayed with Seth Rollins. Now do we shift a focus to maybe him staying with one of the two?
Yeah, because there was a promo that he cut backstage where he was supposed to give the update on Seth Rollins. He said it's too soon, for one thing. But then he said, but right now we can't focus on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has till June to cash in the Money in the Bank. Tonight, it's all about Bron Breakker, is what he had said.
Yeah. I did see that. But also, let's not forget that it was Bron Breakker who defeated Gunther. At that point, well, even Walter, when he combined the NXT UK and NXT championships. Actually, I'm mistaken. It was just for the NXT championship because I believe it was Tyler Bate and Bron Breakker in that unification match. Now I got a question for you.
Yes.
In terms of he will or he won't, what are the odds that Roman Reigns returns tonight?
I'm going to say he won't. Because I don't see how he returns. Although I do know that he has been known to return at SummerSlam or in and around the SummerSlam build.
Now, I said earlier we could go LA Knight to Bron Breakker, but hear me out. Maybe we go to the Bronson Reed LA Knight route instead, and we focus Bron Breakker versus Roman Reigns.
Now that's a match I really like. But even if we went to the Bron Breakker LA Knight, you could still do Bronson and Roman, and that match has gold on it too.
Yeah, but I think what we have seen in the past is they tend to put the people that the company is very high on.
Mm-hmm.
And it is no secret WWE is very high on Bron Breakker, even more so than Bronson Reed. And that's not a shake at Bronson Reed. That is just how much they see absolute star in Bron Breakker. And it's exactly, in my eyes, what you can expect to see in years to come with Obafemi.
Yep. Or even who's that guy who just won LFG? His name is like on the tip of my tongue.
Jasper Troy.
Yeah. I saw total star quality out of the stuff he did on Saturday there. So
I do too. But based off what I saw at Great American Bash, I do believe he is going to be in NXT for at least 2, maybe 3 years at the very least.
And I'd be okay with that.
I think he has to. There are things that from a professional mindset, I'm like, okay, you have just about everything, but there is some fine tuning here. And I'll be the first one to say I might not be physically capable of doing it, but it's still something I could see because we all know I'm a big tickler for the details.
Yeah.
As we're back in 1 minute and 50 seconds, we said earlier that we want people. We need people. We are basically telling people that Turnbuckle Studios is hiring. So look no further. Please watch this. And if you have any other questions, look no further than turnbucklestudios@gmail.com.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
As now we come back with Penta being the one chosen to go up against Bron Breakker to start this gauntlet.
I kind of had a feeling it was going to be Penta who started this off, and I think I'm just going to chalk it up just because of the match they had last week.
Now, because this is a very babyface heavy match. I do see Bron Breakker lasting quite a while. But I will say this, there is a part of me that would love to see the CM Punk and Penta in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I got to ask you best, have we seen any matches scheduled for next week yet?
I have not seen anything announced for next week. The only thing I think that's probably going to be announced for next week is the Sheamus Rusev match.
Yeah.
The strength of Braun as he just throws Penta to the mat.
Now, Braun has the future on the back of his singlet. I will say, that might be one of the most overused names in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Because Bron Breakker, I will say this. You're in the main event of Monday Night Raw. You're a former Intercontinental Champion. You've been on WrestleMania. You're one of the longest NXT champions. I don't know if you're necessarily the feature. I think you're pretty much right now. I mean, you're a Paul Heyman guy.
Right? Yeah, you're the right now, Braun.
I mean, I guess Brock Lesnar at one point was the next big thing, but
Yeah, and they still touted him as the next big thing even after he won the undisputed title from The Rock.
oh yeah, I mean, one title doesn't necessarily make you the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did anybody truly think Randy Orton was the big thing after he won his first championship? I think there's a lot of question marks yet on there.
Yeah, in retrospect, even though I was there when he won that world title, it was just in that moment that I thought that he was the future because of just how hot the crowd was for his win.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, probably not.
Well, and in recency, like we have to think the same about a guy like Jey Uso. Right? Like it's fair to think, are they gonna be, like legendary single acts in this company in the next 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we all can say that we see Bron Breakker as one of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the one thing I am liking about Bron Breakker as the heel in this role is he is slowing down a lot more, and
Mhm.
he's taking. And I just see that as just how absolutely poised he is inside of a ring.
Yeah.
And when you're always around someone like a Paul Heyman, I talk about how I like the details, but I don't even know the details when comparing to someone like Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman can detail my details
Yeah.
and even shrink them and tell a story about that because he is one of the brightest and smartest, most iconic minds this business has ever and most likely will ever see. And when those type of minds get absolutely absorbed by people like Bron Breakker,
Yeah.
whew,
I mean,
your learning curve just became much bigger.
yeah. I mean, one of my favorite Paul Heyman stories I heard comes out of Tommy Dreamer, and it was a time when they were working in ECW, and Tommy Dreamer had this great storyline. He laid it all out to Paul Heyman, detail by detail, but Paul Heyman was like, "Okay, then what happens next?" He was challenging Dreamer to like expand the story just a little bit more and fine tune those details, and I totally appreciated him for that. You know. It's why some years ago when I found out that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff were being brought in to run Raw and SmackDown respectively, I was more excited to see what Paul Heyman could bring to the table more so than Eric Bischoff.
Well, I was very intrigued with both because I knew we were going to get two different types of shows, but we're going to get two different types of shows that are done in very specific and detailed ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Bischoff's tenure didn't last long. I think he was only there for like 3 months before they scrapped it. And they did the same thing for Paul Heyman, but they kept him on as what he's doing right now.
And a lot of time is being put into this encounter with Penta and Bron Breakker, and it allowed Gunther to get to that suite as he is there. But you have to wonder, does this fare well for both Penta or Bron Breakker if they were to advance? Because why would somebody not take advantage? Because the longer you go, the more fatigued you're going to get.
Yeah, and I think Penta has the tenacity. We've seen him go. What was it in the Royal Rumble? He went almost 47 minutes, I think it was. Bron Breakker has that ability as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, in a Royal Rumble match, there are points in the match where you can take a breather and let everybody else beat each other up. Whereas in this case, it's strictly one-on-one, so you're constantly trying to fight the other guy. Gunther does not look impressed.
To me, he just looks really focused.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like he's kind of just taking it all in because you want to do as much homework as you possibly can. And these two men are really giving you a lot to study off of.
Yeah. Penta hasn't wrestled Gunther in WWE yet, has he?
No, and they have. Oh, I don't think he will yet.
No, he won't.
I was gonna say they definitely teased it before, but
yeah. Oh, and here comes my pick to win the thing. Now I'm not so certain.
Yeah.
But LA does have a lot of scores to settle with Bron Breakker.
Yeah. It's why I think this is definitely where you could see Bronson Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I mean with how long Penta and Braun went for. You got a fresh LA Knight in the ring. And yes, I know I'm talking about somebody very, very much with a lot of gas in the tank. In fact, he might have a gas tank that is a lot larger than most. And that is Bron Breakker. But to then go against somebody like an LA Knight, a Jey Uso, who has beat you before for the Intercontinental Championship, has a newfound confidence after becoming champion. And then also CM Punk, who will challenge you in totally different ways. I think Braun needs to really make short work of one of these guys if he wants a chance to actually run the gauntlet.
Yeah. And let's not forget that all of these men are hungry just to have that shot at Gunther, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And LA Knight's smart to work on that arm because that's going to prevent that could prevent Braun from hitting the spear.
Well, it's not going to prevent him from hitting it, but it will give more damage to Braun if he does hit it.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I think that's what I meant. Hit it more as effectively as he can, you know?
And then if you put damage to that shoulder, then you're not hitting the spear with as much force. And we all know, like, the reason why the spear is so powerful for Bron Breakker is the speed and the strength that he does. So if you're able to weaken that, you're able to take away the strengths of his spear. But LA Knight smartly rolls back in the ring, creating that separation.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
As we see that Braun is very, very aggressive and he knows when to. We do see that he is starting to slow down, and it's not by choice. So it's just a matter of time. If LA Knight's able to, last a good 10, 15 minutes and wear Bron Breakker down, Bron Breakker might not even get through the next person if he does somehow get through LA Knight.
Yeah, 'cause still waiting in the wings is, as you said, Jey Uso, a man who has defeated him in the past, and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would make sense to go back to Gunther and Jey if Jey does win?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the rubber match, right?
Exactly.
They're both tied one apiece right now.
And you have to almost give us some closure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can say, well, they fought for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther won. Yeah, but that's a different title. And
A different feud.
Yeah, it was also a different. It was just different in the sense of it wasn't around the same time. We had some time in between.
Mm-hmm. And you could also tell the story between Jey and Gunther that Gunther passed out to Jey's sleeper. Jey passed out to Gunther's sleeper. So there's a story built in there for that as well.
You could even do a submission match and it would make sense. Or you can do like even an Iron Man or something like that. Like there is a lot you can do with that. However, I also see where you could say, well, maybe we want to do Braun and Gunther, or LA Knight and Gunther, or CM Punk and Gunther. I can see all of it because they are larger things. Now, if you want CM Punk in a championship match at a big PLE, makes a lot of sense to me. Because I do look at the opportunity of Jey Uso helping out his brother with what he is doing over on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And if I was to make a trade, if you do want to have LA Knight on Raw and Jey Uso on SmackDown, there you go. There could be that trade. And there's that context I was asking for earlier.
Yeah, because even over on SmackDown, that's where you can have Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso, and Jey go into that feud with Solo's group.
Beautiful kitchen sink there by Bron Breakker.
And you can go into that because John Cena and Jey Uso have been teasing a potential match against one another as well. So there's something else you can do with Jey over there. Speaking of John Cena, he's going to be on SmackDown alongside Cody Rhodes under one roof this Friday night.
No, he's definitely LA Knight is definitely working on the neck there, and yeah, that even includes the DDT because that DDT, depending on how you land, you can either hurt your head, you can either land front on that head, or you can even land kind of in a weird spot that does affect the way your head can move, which then really affects your neck. And that's a great way to kind of set up for that BFT that LA Knight does like to hit.
And I got to tell you, I've taken a few stingers from DDTs on the neck. It seems like every time Braun comes up with some sort of offense, LA Knight's got something to counter it right now.
And I really enjoy that because we know LA Knight to be that smart talker on the stick, but we don't necessarily see how intelligent he is in the ring at times. And I really like the fact that we're looking at the intelligence aspects of LA Knight, and that really makes him a better in-ring performer. Just devastating looking.
Yeah. Oh, he's looking for the spear.
Oh, do a BFT out of midair.
Oh,
that would have been.
I think that's it for LA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there goes my pick. Defeated by my second pick.
Yeah, that was not a best case scenario for you, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, my puds are on their A game today.
I kind of figured Punk was going to be the last one out.
Me too. Let the young guys do the work.
Yep.
Respect, Punk. Respect.
I mean, you could say the same thing for Jey being the second to last guy out. I mean, Jay's been around the WWE since what, 09? Like almost 16 years.
Yeah, but Penta is older than him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So Penta just has no fear. So again, respect. But we know the gas tank that Jey Uso has, and this is not a good matchup for Bron Breakker.
No, not at this stage in the game for Braun, especially after what Penta and LA Knight had done to him. This is at this point where if I'm Bron Breakker, I'd be wishing for Bronson to come out and give me a hand.
The only thing that works to Bron Breakker's advantage here is Jey Uso likes to take chances. And when he does take chances, he puts himself in positions to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, all it takes is one spear. One of those monster spears from Bron Breakker, and that's it. That makes it go here to go that real quick.
And that's why I'm like, Jay, why are you yeeting right now? Because Braun may be down, but there's still quite a bit in that tank.
Now here's my gripe: you can yeet, ref. Why aren't you on the outside? Why aren't you not counting him out?
Right?
Somebody lost their cell phone.
Yep.
Idiot. That's a call he won't be able to pick up. Now, here's what would have been an amazing 2.0 to a legacy. Imagine if you had Curtis Axel, Bron Breakker, and Brock Lesnar's kid. Like a new Minnesota crew there. Just
That'd be awesome.
Like that would have been like a pretty sweet legacy.
Hey, the rumor of the mill I've heard is that Brock's daughter is eventually going to look into getting into pro wrestling.
She's a beast.
She is.
Beast.
Yeah.
And what's weird too is because Brock Lesnar does have a son who's in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He has another son who kind of does everything else. And his daughter is so versatile in what she does, but that shot put that she has is just crazy. The strange, it almost is like his daughter. Of all of his kids, his daughter is more like him in terms of how absolutely disgusting of an athlete they are.
Yeah.
Like when we look at what Charlotte Flair ended up becoming, just imagine, we could see Brock Lesnar's daughter do the same thing.
Right. Oh, that shot of Gunther in the background as Jey hits the crossbody.
But how awkward was that camera on that guy's shoulder? So that was a very awkward way of holding the camera.
And those cameras, they're not light.
Well, the memes, the one that I'm surprised we just haven't seen with Jey Uso or anybody.
What's that?
Usi fruit.
I picked up a pack of juicy fruit yesterday.
Did you eat?
I did.
Gum. Perfect acronym for giddy up, man. Oh my god.
I thought Braun was going for the spear there for a second.
Are we just going to get a rollout and a spear by Bron Breakker here?
No, we're going to get Bronson Reed showing up.
That's a DQ. That was not.
Yeah,
no.
that's a DQ, ref. What the frig are you doing?
Michael Cole said there's no disqualification.
Oh. That's
How
news.
is there no disqualification in a gauntlet? They're all one-on-one matches. If that's the case, where the hell was he from the beginning?
Right? And in other gauntlet matches, I've seen where wrestlers got disqualified and eliminated. So
Paul Heyman has water in case Bron Breakker needs to quench his thirst. I'll ask once again, will he or won't he? This seems like a perfect time for Roman Reigns.
it's starting to look very likely now.
Now I'm asking you with nothing in the pipeline of like knowing anything. I'm just saying. I mean, I remember reading it before saying, don't be surprised if he shows up before. But I was thinking Saturday night's main event. We didn't see that at Saturday night's main event.
I was going to say Punk barely has his gear off and he's beating the snot out of Bron Breakker.
I love the jacket. It's a nice touch for Punk.
Yeah. It's very and I know Punk is a fan of old school wrestling, so it's very Arn Anderson like.
Well, it's very like 80s stuff, but like he even has like a username as coach on his Twitter page.
Yeah.
And he does look like a coach to like just a team. But we also know like it's something that like FTR, the Revival, they're primed to wear these same jackets. And, you know, with their time in AEW, they also teamed and they had the same stuff. And they really meshed together with their love for Bret Hart. And that's why you see that pink and black sported by CM Punk.
Yep. Same goes for the stars on his tights, and I know that that's representative of Chicago, but it's also a play on the Macho Man's gear, who also used to wear stars on his tights.
Yeah, the stars are definitely responsible, and he has worn Macho Man inspired gear in the past, but those are definitely the from the state flag of Chicago.
Yeah.
But we all know that if somebody also likes the details, CM Punk is no stranger to the details when it comes to professional wrestling. It's why for so long he's been able to be top of the game and why he has proved just about everyone wrong when coming back to the WWE and showcasing, yes, he still is a top tier performer. In fact, his Hell in a Cell with Drew McIntyre last year won a Slammy. So, might not have got 38 stars from Meltzer, but it won a Slammy. So, in the words of Matt Damon, how do you like them apples? And I believe this is the first one-on-one encounter between CM Punk and Bron Breakker.
I think so too.
Which is actually quite ironic because I don't think CM Punk ever had an opportunity to wrestle Rick or Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner would have been maybe the only one that he may have would have had with their times in TNA, but I think they were definitely past. They were in different times.
Yeah, because when Steiner showed up in TNA, Punk was already doing ROH.
Yeah. I think Punk was already in WWE at that point. Was he not?
Yeah, actually, because Punk came to the WWE in 06 or 05, I mean, as part of the farm territory at the time.
I think that was Ohio Valley Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken.
It was OVW, and then he went to FCW for a time.
Yeah, because then they went to Florida. That's when Florida became like their developmental, and then it changed into NXT.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm also biased to the Memphis days.
Nice pun.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a shirt that comes out soon.
But no, I'm actually with you on the Memphis wrestling too. I mean, I didn't get to appreciate it until like the mid 2000s when the Fight Network used to show classic Memphis wrestling in the mornings. So
that's why I think that Jerry Lawler just gets such a bad rap sometimes. But like
he was an excellent booker.
He was an excellent performer.
Yeah.
And there's something about the way Memphis wrestlers throw a punch that just makes me believe. And I love it. Just from a nerdy wrestling standpoint, the simplicity of a punch and the emotion, the investment, and everything that they bring, and that is just...
Yep.
The chef wouldn't just kiss it. He would make out with it.
Oh, excellent roll through for Punk.
Oh, what a perfect reversal.
Yeah.
In the words of CM Punk, what a reversal. Or I know he said maneuver, but I wanted to say reversal.
Yeah.
I'm actually very, very much wanting more between Braun and Punk.
Me too.
Like, I did not. I mean, let's also just give it to Bron Breakker, though. Like, what a performance he is putting out tonight. Like, he is really carving a niche right now, and we all knew what he was capable of, but I think he's opening even more eyes with this performance tonight.
Yeah.
It's just something different when you do it on Monday Night Raw. It's Bronson Reed.
Oh, Punk was onto him, though.
Yep. That's just the experience of CM Punk. He doesn't have gray hairs because he's old. He has gray hairs because he's experienced, people.
And there's the tribute to the Macho Man with his elbow drop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Right into the
transition.
Anaconda face.
Beautiful transition.
Yeah.
Man, CM Punk, you gotta brush those teeth. That is a shitty yellow that should not be in that mouth.
So I guess like with this no disqualification,
Hold
I guess
on.
that's why the referee wasn't even counting.
Hold on. You know something's about to happen.
Yeah. I see the blue.
That's Uso.
Oh, it's Jey.
You didn't hear the big Uso.
No, because I got it muted.
Huh.
I saw the blue and I thought, could it be Roman? Because I know Roman has blue in his Titantron. But I wanted to point out that I love Braun's performance in this match, and I kind of had this feeling that with Seth Rollins' injury on Saturday night, my first thought was, okay, Braun, it's time for you to step up.
Well, he's going to step aside right now because CM Punk just got the W. As Jey Uso came to bat for CM Punk, eliminating the threat that was Bronson Reed, that allowed CM Punk to reverse the spear, get that kick up, and then hit the go to sleep that punched his way to New Jersey, where he's smelling his way to a world championship as he faces the Ring General Gunther.
Yeah, this match does have money all over it. And this is a fresh feud for both Punk and Gunther, considering they have never stepped in the ring against one another, and maybe with the exception of a Royal Rumble, but that doesn't really count.
Well, Bronson Reed now just pummeling CM Punk. As we're getting an OTC chant.
I was going to say, I can hear the crowd. Are they chanting OTC?
Yeah.
And there he is. Holy Christ, the crowd just exploded.
I mean, even a vending machine couldn't hold this pop.
Yeah. Just Roman beating everybody up with authority right now.
And this really kind of shapes it because you could do Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, CM Punk and Gunther, and Roman Reigns versus Bron Breakker.
You could even do a tag match with Jey and Roman against Bronson and Braun.
Yeah,
I do like the idea of the sing. I was gonna say I do like the idea of the singles match more though. because it allows Bronson and Braun to shine as individuals as well.
Now, here's the thing. Does he extends his hand to Jey, their family. It makes all the sense.
Does he extend his hand to Punk?
That is a question of questions. If I was Daniel Bryan, I would say yes. Because an enemy of my enemy is my friend.
And the history between Roman and CM Punk over the last year has really been intertwined together.
I mean, it was Paul Heyman who turned his back on both men at WrestleMania this year.
It was Punk who was also brought into War Games by Paul Heyman last year as well.
Well, Punk didn't want to get left hanging, so he shook hands with Jey Uso.
Yeah. Well, what a finish. Wow. I mean,
and Raw might just stand for Roman always wins. But that's just me saying silly things. That was Monday Night Raw, everyone. Roman Reigns is back. The OTC is ready to spear his way all the way to SummerSlam. Can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm looking forward to Friday. I wish it was Friday already so we can do the SmackDown security detail to see what they've got planned.
Well, you'll get a lot of Cody Rhodes and John Cena. They're under one roof. It's a big deal.
Yep.
As they punch their ticket to SummerSlam, as that is the SummerSlam match. But best, we near the end. As we give the shout-outs to the brothers that are not here. We give the shout-outs to one OMD. You can follow him on his Linktree at linktree.ee OMD show. You can go check out Bubba Duke at Bubba Duke on YouTube. And then at Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke over on Twitch. But Chris Best, we cannot forget the Godfather that is Turnbuckle Studios. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. Go please check out the link tree of Karl Karufel. On that, you will also see the beautiful website that is karlkarufel.redbubble.com. You can get a plethora of merchandise, including this hoodie that I am sporting right now. But Chris Best, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? What were your takeaways? What do you have coming next? And where can the good people find you?
Well, let's see. Tonight's Raw was just a fantastic show all around. That Gauntlet match was awesome, but I think my match of the night does belong to Lyra and Bayley for the in the 2 out of 3 falls match. Just that match had me on the edge of my seat, just as those two women always do when they wrestle. But if you want to find me tomorrow night, you can find me right here on Turnbuckle Studios, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, as we do Turnbuckle Talk. I do have a couple of stories in the works right now. I'm not sure what my main story is going to be just yet. But tomorrow, 8:05 Eastern, Turnbuckle Talk, you'll be able to find me. But if you want to find me on my socials, my link tree is lanktr.ee/Chris_best83. Over to you, Parrish.
Awesome stuff. You can find me over on my link tree at Chris Parrish. Sometimes you can catch me at Beercade YEG, located at 10544 82nd Avenue. You can also check them out on Facebook. You can also check them out on X and Instagram. You could have been there this weekend as they had All In, as that was a show of shows. In fact, it became the longest wrestling show of 2025. That's not always a bad thing. It was just a thing. We also saw a lot of great matches, a lot of unfortunate news. But where you can also find me next is always every Sunday with the Chris Parrish Podcast, 12:15 p.m. on the platforms of View, as I have changed that name. I want to thank everyone for the great compliments with that episode with Ella J on the weekend, including Mickey James, who did reply to the short.
Nice.
Oh, it was fantastic. What I loved about Monday Night Raw is simply this. You said it was a woman's heavy show, and it was great. You took the mainstream. You took the energy that was Evolution. If you haven't seen that, people, one of the best PLE's pay-per-view shows you will see this year. An absolutely studded show. From the first match to the last, nothing disappointed. Please take the time to go watch Evolution. 2 out of 3 falls match. Becky Lynch, Lyra, Valkyria to determine who faces Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. How could you go wrong? But I have to do the obvious. The main event. That Gauntlet match. Bron Breakker was the star tonight. But he just couldn't get the job done because the list of enemies came up to bite Paul Heyman and his group in the ass. And for the first time, we are seeing that the number game truly is an advantage to the other team. As Roman Reigns, the OTC, returns to Monday Night Raw to ensure that the man who betrayed him at WrestleMania gets a spoiler, and that is he is acknowledging the wrong man in Bron Breakker, in Bronson Reed, and Seth freaking Rollins. So that is what I thought. I will head it back to you to end this off.
Yeah.
So what does the good people say to end off the Raw Patrol?
In the immortal words of one Karl Karufel, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.